Well, it is finally happening. Took the old Fummins down to the freight company because I don't have a forklift, couldn't get them shipped here, to pick up some shop equipment, namely 2 freaking lifts. Not just 1 lift, 2 lifts. I'm so excited to just have a lift in general in the new shop. Let alone 2. I am so excited. This is going to be incredible. I really didn't think it would be that bad going from working on a lift to not working on a lift. I was like, I used to do that all the time. It'll be fine. And man, wrong. Wrong. It's rough, man. Once you're used to working on a lift, it is hard to go back. Luckily, I have my quick jacks, and I didn't get rid of them when I got my lift, and they have been very handy for not having a lift. But man, I am dying to have a lift again, and we got 2 of them. 2 of them. So yeah, these are not just basic home shop lifts. These are some serious real deal lifts. These are Bendpak asymmetrical 10,000 pound lifts. These are about as good as it gets, in my opinion, in terms of lifts. I mean, we could do anything with these lifts depending on how thick our concrete actually ends up being. If it is as thick as it's supposed to be, I mean, we could put the dang truck on the lift. So I'm really excited to have some real deal lifts. I'm excited to have lifts in general, and I'm very excited to have 2 lifts. But before I go off on a tangent, doing a bunch of jibber jabbering, it's time to get to work. We gotta start getting these unloaded. What we're gonna do is just take them off piece by piece. So I've got Raldo and Josue coming to help me with the bigger pieces. I can start getting the small pieces off myself. Before I even do that though, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Safiro out of the way. I might end up taking this thing and just pushing it outside, but for now, I wanna at least try to just shimmy it over here and just give us a little more room to work. We're gonna put this one up over here. So yeah, again, enough jibber jabber. I'm just excited, man. Lifts. This is a big deal. It's gonna be so cool to see one up in my new shop, in my own shop. Oh, life goals right here, boys, life goals. So anyway, let's get to work. Alright, gonna have to wait for Raldo and Josue on this one. Freaking leaves. They don't tell you. I'll guide the front. Alright, I'll go slow. Good. All right, well, we figured out a solid system getting them off. It was really easy with the engine hoist, 2 dollies. It was no problem getting these off. So we've got the lift for in here. For now, we're only gonna put one up right now. And we're gonna put it on this side. And the reason for that is since I don't have the shop closed in yet, I don't wanna attract too much attention to myself having 2 lifts and look like a straight up automotive shop. So I figured one is like, you know, might not look too wild. And then when I get the shop closed in, which I have planned for like a month from now, then I can put the other one up. Anyway, we've got the lift that we're putting up right now. in its position, pretty much ready to go. And, you know, Raldo, I didn't know if this was gonna be possible, to be honest, but you wouldn't even know there's a lift in there. Both the cars still fit, plenty of room to open the doors. And we got the whole assembly in here. We took off the top beam and the box of bolts, but we were able to get it off the trailer on these dollies as a complete unit. So that's super nice. So we just rolled it in here in the corner. When the time comes to put it in the shop and put it up, we'll just roll it over there and break it down and we're good to go. So anyway, I'm excited. That all went pretty dang smoothly. No problems at all. It's also well packaged. It makes it pretty easy. So now it's time to start putting the lift up, which is obviously what we're here for. But first, I gotta cut a hole in the ceiling. So this lift is 12 foot 1 inches tall. The ceiling is 11 foot 8 inches tall. Now I didn't want to sacrifice and go way down in lift size to something that would, you know, would clear like a 10-foot ceiling, and then I'm gonna be like crunched under it. Basically, I didn't want to sacrifice lift height. What we do have to deal with though is cutting the roof. So basically what we're gonna do is just set it in between the rafters. So we're gonna put it just basically in between these two rafters right here. They're like 2 feet apart. So we got plenty of room. We just gotta cut a big hole. Let's get to it. I'm gonna go up there. I got long Sawzall blades. I'm gonna drill a hole and just Sawzall right against the rafter. Pew, pew. What do you think about that, Rose? Sounds a little sketch, but
let's do it.
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Yep. Light is down. It's time to climb up in the attic and commit and start cutting. Wish me luck. This is one of those things that's either gonna go really well and be really easy, or it's not gonna go well at all. We'll find out. All right, well, I forgot to turn the camera on, but we did it. We got it. I've got to cut that one support back out because I'm gonna have to add supports back in between the ceiling joists. So I wanted to leave that one, but I'm gonna cut it out from down here. But I think we got the distance we needed. It's gonna be close. Because that's where another support was. So I kind of wanted to try to stop there. And I think we're definitely far enough over here. Yeah, it's gonna be tight, but I don't know, it might work. I'm happy with that. That was about what I expected it to be. I figured it'd be kind of rough, but just standing up there, cutting it with a Sawzall. It's just, the reason I did it from up there is because I can use the ceiling joist as a guide and make sure I'm not cutting into the ceiling joist. From the bottom, it would be harder to do that. So anyway, I'm gonna go up on the ladder, cut this last one out, and then we're gonna start sanding these Johnnies up. The big moment. What do you think? It's a big moment. Raldo stood under there, just in case I fell, so you could catch me.
I was trying to calculate where you were. And I'm like, is the solo coming down first or is he? Like, do I reach or not? True.
So what I'm worried about is since it's got to go into that slot, it'll like hit it before it goes up. Yeah, it's going to stick up above that at 2 inches. Oh, God. Nope. And it hit way earlier.
Early. Like over there. So yeah, I guess.
But then the other one. I mean, I guess the other one, once we pick it up.
We'll at like an angle on that.
Yeah. All right, so basically, the concern was before it got into the notch, it would hit the roof, which it did, even earlier than I thought it would. So we're gonna turn it sideways and then pick it up just into the slot, because then we should be good. All right, we got post number 1 up. I forgot to turn the camera on. I turned it on, I forgot to press record, or it didn't press. Anyway, post number 1 is up. Wasn't too bad once we got it all figured out. This one is up. We're gonna put 1 bolt in the corner to start us, and then basically just square off of this going that way. Once we'll get the other one up in place, put the top on, connect it, square them all up, and then probably blinding you. And then we can bolt them all in. So we're just gonna do 1 corner bolt and we'll go from there. time to drill. Camera hates me today, but we drilled the first hole. That is how deep the concrete is. I was told, my neighbor was told by the guy who built this place that they poured this slab 6 inches thick, which I was like, man, if that's true, that's gonna be sick. The plan said 4 inches, which is the minimum. More than 6, at least here. So that is sick. I'm super excited about that. All right, we gotta get our anchors out and drop an anchor in. It's recording this time. If it shuts off, I don't know what the deal is. Dude, that's about as deep as you could hope. That's awesome. That's so cool. That makes me so happy. Great A, dude. That's so sick. It's 6 inches. One thing we are gonna do is push the Saphiro out just in case there's an abort mission and the whole thing comes crashing down.
Should be okay there.
Freaking lift.
They're stout.
Yeah, this is definitely a solid unit. The roof hole looks kind of sketchy now, I get it. I'm gonna close it in, like put wood up top. Look at that, we're freaking pros now, dude.
She needs to come over.
It's about there. Now we gotta figure out how to get the plate up there. All right, well, we got the center bar up. It was a bit of a struggle since we don't have 2 ladders. We tried to take it up together. That wasn't really working. So we took it up in separate pieces. We put that side up, put a board to hold it, and then slid them together, bolted them together, bolted them in. So now I just need to square up this post. I need to make sure it's level. I need to make sure it's even front to back with the other one. I need to make sure it's completely square, and then we'll drill an anchor for that, starter anchor, and then we'll leave it for tonight, and we'll finish it up in the morning. So not too bad though, not too bad. Shout out to Raldo for staying, saving my life. Couldn't do it without him. All right, well, she's in, boys. It's all drilling more holes and hammering more anchors in, which we're gonna do in the morning. I'll see you then. Alrighty, well, we got the cables in. The lifts are both bolted down. We were supposed to do the cables before we put the lift post up, but I neglected to read the instructions. They make this very easy for you. If you read the instructions, I didn't do that. I was just in such a rush to get the big, heavy lifting parts done while Raldo was here before he had to leave. So I was like, well, just get the post up and we'll be good. So anyway, me and John, we got the cables in. The next step's probably gonna be hydraulic lines, but we'll find out. Alrighty, well, we are most of the way through. Made some good progress. Luckily, John was here to help with the cables and stuff. That would have been a nightmare by myself. I mean, maybe I could have got it done, but it would have been really tricky. It just worked out that he was here. I didn't intend for him to come over and help me with the lift, but it, worked out. Thanks, Sean. And yeah, so he left, but we got the hydraulic lines in. I got the pump on. I got this hydraulic line on. It goes up to a bulkhead fitting there. And then one line goes down to this cylinder. One goes up and over to the other cylinder. Got the safety release mechanism, the lock mechanism. Boom, got that all hooked up with the cable, boom, boom. Yeah, I mean, it all has gone pretty smoothly. Really, the most difficult part was the lines and the cables, purely because of my own lack of reading the instruction manual and my haste to get these up. So, yeah, other than that, it's all been smooth. The instructions are really good. I'm excited, man. We're getting close. I've got to decide what I want to do up here. If I want to, like, repanel it and, like, just have, like, the post basically just disappearing into the ceiling, or do what I originally planned to do and, like, box in the top and just leave the whole thing recessed. I'm not sure. Either way is going to be a bit of work. Got to do something, though. I can't stand, like, it just looks so janky with just a giant hole in the ceiling. So, anyway, I think next up is getting the lift arms on. I know next up is getting the lift arms on because I read the instructions. What do you know? Got to put a clip in the bottom. let's make it official. Look at that, and we got screw up and down ones. That's so nice. And they don't scrape. Look at that. So you know we got a level. If they scraped at one point, then you know it was off one way or another. So then it routes down here, boom, boom, clamped, and then I left it extra long depending on where he wants to tie it in. So I'm not sure what he's gonna wanna do. And then it hangs down here by the lift, and I'm gonna have him install a junction box here, and then I've got a welder receptacle here. So basically it'll come off and then go to the welder receptacle off and into the motor. And then that way we can plug our welder in right here. I have a little mobile welding cart for doing stuff on the car, and I can just plug it in, no extension cord. I'm gonna do the same on the other lift. It is nice to see this area with no lift over here because there's a lot of freaking room. The more room than I would have expected. Like, I mean, the car is pushed pretty far over there, but it would almost be nice to have this as a no lift workspace to do stuff that you don't need a lift for. But the reason for 2 lifts is because I can have a long-term project like the Safiro on the 1 lift. I don't know which one is gonna be the long-term lift. And then the other lift, like, you know, have it for storing cars or whatever, but have it pretty much open with running driving vehicles in it or on it or under it, and be able to say toss the Miata on and do an oil change, or toss the Miata on and do an alignment or a nut and bolt check or change the trans, you know, something that's not a full long-term project without having to try to find some way, you know, like when this car had the subframes out of it, the only way I can get it off the lift is on rollers and whatever. So anyway, that's kind of my thought process. Have a lift for the long-term projects, and then a easy accessible lift for any short-term projects. So that was my reasoning for 2. That's why we're going with 2. But like I said, we're gonna do 1 for now, just so it doesn't look so crazy. I don't look like a full-on automotive shop over here until we get this place closed in. But since we have to wait on an electrician to wire this up, we can't use it. I really, really, really wanted to use it in this video and at least lift a car up with it, but we got to do this right. You know, this is hopefully my forever shop unless something drastic changes. I want to make sure everything's done right, and especially like messing around with electrical, 220 volt, we'll leave that to the pros. So, hey, I guess that means that we are wrapped up, but we do finally have a lift. And man, it really makes this place feel more like a shop. Before, with no lift, it just felt like a storage area, like a carport, like a place to park my cars. But now, with the lift here, like, it's a shop. So I can't wait. We've got the getting the shop closed in schedule. We've got the other lift. We've got more shop equipment coming. There's a lot of major upgrades coming to the shop very soon. I am so excited for them. But for now, it's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.